All-terrain tires are easy to buy wrong. The marketing sounds perfect. Quiet highway ride, strong wet grip, snow confidence, trail-ready toughness, and long tread life. But then people install them and realize the tire is louder than expected, weaker in rain, rougher on pavement, or just not right for how they actually drive. So today we're counting down 5 all-terrain tires I'd be careful with in 2026. Not because everyone is terrible, but because each one can disappoint the wrong buyer. Before we start, drop your current tire in the comments. Do you love it, or are you just trying to get your money's worth? Now let's talk about the tires you may want to avoid before spending $800 to $2. 0 on the wrong set. At number 5, Falken Rubitrek AT01. This tire gets attention because it looks like a smart value pick. You see the Falken name, the all-terrain design, the severe snow rating, and the lower price, and it is easy to think, maybe this is the cheaper way to get WildPeak style performance. But that is where buyers can get caught. The Rubitrek AT01 usually costs around $150 per tire, depending on size. It also comes with a 55, 0-mile limited tread life warranty and carries the 3-peak mountain snowflake rating. On paper, that sounds strong. But the problem is expectation. This is not the same tire as a WildPeak AT4W. It is not the tire I'd choose if you want maximum wet grip, sharp handling, or serious winter confidence. It can work as a decent road-friendly all-terrain, especially if the price is right. But if you live somewhere with heavy rain, mountain roads, regular snow, or you tow often, I would be careful. A tire can be snow-rated and still not feel like the strongest snow tire in its class. That is the important part. The Rubitrek is marketed as a capable all-terrain, and for mild daily driving it may be fine. But if you are buying it because you think it is basically a cheaper WildPeak, you might be disappointed. Avoid this one if your expectations are higher than the tire's real-world balance. And tell me in the comments, would you buy the cheaper Falken or pay more for the WildPeak AT4W? Because the next tire has an even bigger issue. It looks tougher than it feels. At number 4, Kumho Road Venture RT. This tire is marketed as a rugged terrain option that gives you aggressive looks without going full mud tire. And that idea sounds great. A tire that looks tough, handles gravel, works on light trails, rides decently on pavement, and comes with a 50, 0-mile treadwear warranty. That is exactly what a lot of truck owners want. Price-wise, the Road Venture RT usually lands around $207 to $550 for tire depending on size. So once you get into larger truck fitments, it is not exactly cheap. The issue is that this tire can feel more focused on rugged appearance than true all-around road confidence. It has the tread design, the stone ejectors, the sidewall attitude, and the off-road look. But if your main priorities are strong wet grip, clean dry handling, and confident daily driving, this is where I would pause. For many buyers, the problem is not that the tire cannot do anything. The problem is that it does not clearly lead where most people actually drive. Most truck owners are not in mud every weekend. They are commuting, driving in rain, taking highway trips, towing sometimes, and maybe hitting dirt roads once in a while. For that kind of use, pavement performance matters most. The Kumho Road Venture RT may make sense if you want the rugged look and basic all-terrain ability. But I would avoid it if you are buying mostly for appearance. There are tires that may look less aggressive, but give better everyday confidence. And that leads perfectly into number 3, because this next tire has a famous name attached to it, but the name can mislead people. At number 3, Falken WildPeak RT Aero 1. This one is tricky because people see WildPeak and immediately think of the WildPeak AT3W or AT4W, and those tires built a serious reputation. But the RT01 is not the same kind of tire. This is a rugged terrain tire aimed at lifted trucks, SUVs, and bigger pickups. It is marketed as a tire that gives you mud terrain style bite, while keeping more all-terrain stability and tread life. That sounds like the perfect middle ground. Price-wise, expect around $330 to $650 per tire depending on size, so this is a serious purchase. It also comes with a 50,000-mile limited treadwear warranty and has a strong off-road look. But here is the warning. Do not buy this expecting the same wet and winter confidence that made other WildPeak tires famous. The RT01 is more aggressive and more appearance-driven than the AT4W. That means you may give up some daily driving comfort, wet road confidence, and winter behavior. That is where buyers get disappointed. They think they are getting the famous WildPeak feel with a tougher look. But a tougher look can come with trade-offs. This tire makes more sense for people who want a rugged stance, off-road bite, and a more aggressive build. But for daily driving in rain, slush, cold weather, and long highway use, I would be cautious. If you are mostly on pavement, the WildPeak AT4W is likely the smarter Falken for many buyers. Avoid the RT01 if you are buying it because you love the AT3W or AT4W. Same family name does not mean same driving experience, and I already know Falken fans will have opinions. Would you still take the RT01, or would you stay with the AT4W? Because the next tire might start an even bigger argument. It looks incredible, but it may not be the tire your commute wants. At number 2, Toyo Open Country RT Trail. This tire has one of the most tempting pitches in the truck world. More off-road grip than a traditional all-terrain, less noise than a mud tire, aggressive sidewall, deep tread, serious stance. Basically, it is sold as the perfect middle ground for people who want their truck to look ready for anything. And that is exactly why you need to be careful. Price-wise, the Open Country RT Trail usually runs around $262 to $936 per tire depending on size. It also carries a 45,000-mile warranty, so a full set can get expensive fast. And if your truck mostly lives on pavement, this is where the warning starts. This tire is not the best choice if your priorities are quiet highway driving, soft ride comfort, fuel economy, and smooth daily manners. A lot of people buy tires like this for the look, then spend 90% of their time commuting. At first, they love the stance. Then the excitement wears off. Now they notice the tread noise, the firmer ride, the fuel economy drop, the feeling that they bought more tire than they actually needed. Now, if you truly off-road, overland, air down, and want stronger sidewall protection, the RT Trail can make sense. But for a daily commuter truck, I would think twice. Avoid this one if you mostly want comfort, low noise, wet road smoothness, and easy highway miles. And be honest, have you ever bought a tire mainly because it looked good? Because number 1 might be the most controversial pick on the list. At number 1, BFGoodrich All-Terrain T KO2. And before the comments explode, let me be clear. The KO2 is not a bad tire. It is one of the famous all-terrain tires ever made. It helped define the category, built a massive fan base, and earned a strong reputation for off-road toughness. But in 2026, I would be very careful buying it at full price. Why? Because the KO3 exists. BFGoodrich has already moved forward with the newer KO3, which is designed to improve key areas like wear, gravel durability, and snow traction while keeping the toughness people liked about the KO2. That changes the buying decision. If you find KO2s on a serious discount and they fit your truck, and you know exactly why you want them, that can still make sense. But if the KO2 price is close to the KO3 price, I would not do it. Depending on size and retailer, KO2 pricing can still sit in the premium range, often around $200 to $400 plus per tire. And at that point, you have to ask, why pay near new money for the older design? The KO2 also has real trade-offs. Some owners love the tread life and toughness. Others report balancing issues, road noise, uneven wear, or sidewall cracking over time. That does not mean every KO2 will disappoint you, but it does mean the tire is not magic. The KO2 was marketed and treated like the default all-terrain answer for years, but in 2026 the market has changed. Falken, Toyo, Continental, Cooper, Mickey Thompson, Goodyear, and BFGoodrich's own KO3 all give buyers newer choices. So avoid the KO2 if you are paying full price just because it is famous. Legacy does not always mean best buy. And I want to know, would you still buy KO2s in 2026, or are you moving to the KO3? So those are 5 all-terrain tires I'd be careful with in 2026. The Falken Rubitrek AT01 can look like a budget WildPeak, but it is not the same tire. The Kumho Road Venture RT has the rugged look, but may not be the strongest road performer. The Falken WildPeak RT01 can mislead buyers who expect AT4W-style daily confidence. The Toyo Open Country RT Trail looks amazing, but may not be the best highway tire. And the BFGoodrich KO2 is still a legend, but in 2026, I would not pay full price when the KO3 exists. Now I want to hear from you. Which all-terrain tire disappointed you the most, and which one actually lived up to the hype? Drop your truck, tire size, and driving style in the comments. And if this helped you avoid an expensive mistake, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.